coverage you can count on. KOAT Action 7 News at 5 starts right now.
Tonight, our team bringing you full coverage on fires across our state. The largest one in the country right here in New Mexico continues to burn. And fire experts say firefighting in these conditions is uniquely difficult. A research team based out of Colorado explains why predicting what these fires will do next is not an easy task.
The Hermits Peak Calf Canyon fire breaks a decade-old record for our state's largest. The Whitewater Baldy Complex fire started May 9th, 10 years ago. Their record was more than 297,000 acres in the Gila National Forest. It burned for more than 2 months.
But first, a severe weather watch over parts of eastern New Mexico. Strong storms added to the fire threat in other parts of New Mexico. Here's Joe.
Okay, here's what we're looking at. We have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect throughout eastern parts of the state until 10 o'clock. We have a couple of active severe thunderstorm warnings, and this one throughout eastern parts of the state. Huge hail associated with it. Look, the radar has estimated there could be hail more than 2 inches. So this is a very dangerous storm. Now, technically, this storm is not even in our viewing area, but if you know people near this region, there you see Dora over there, light over here, but you can see the path of this. This is the hail core, and it's huge, it's enormous, and it's very dangerous, and it looks like it's moving toward that blue area that you see over here. So if this storm comes near you, make sure you get that car inside a garage and get inside a sturdy building, because the hail core continues to expand as it works toward the Texas state line. We also have a strong thunderstorm to the south of Interstate 40. There's Santa Rosa. We can show you, here's the hail, and this shows some rotation in the storm over here, and it's kind of in a remote area, but as it approaches that highway just to the north of Vaughn on toward the Santa Rosa area, there could be some large hail and potentially damaging winds with it. It looks like ping pong size hail is what we're looking at right now. And then we go to the Albuquerque area, an air quality alert. We have ozone that's starting to increase because of the very hot temperatures. Add to that, we have smoke from wildfires to the southwest. Air quality alert in effect until 8 or 9 o'clock. If you have some respiratory issues, make sure you limit your time outside over the next few hours. We'll update the radars in just a bit.
Crews at Angel Fire now preparing for that fire to continue moving north into town. Good evening. I'm Doug Fernandez.
I'm Shelley Ribando. Angel Fire is currently in the set stage of evacuations, and crews there are getting ready in case the fire moves that way. Let's go live now to Sasha Leninger in Angel Fire. Sasha.
Shelley, Doug, we're at Angel Fire Department's station number 2. It's pretty much the main hub for fire crews here. It's also a one-stop shop if they need to pick up things like hoses or pumps before they hit the front lines. And it's also the last place that they'll find a fire hydrant. The fire chief taking us into the evacuation area earlier today and showing us how crews are prepping here. Unlike other counties, crews here actually have the chance to be proactive, many laying hose lines around structures, doing what they can to protect those homes.
In an initial attack period, you don't have the time to organize and prep and plan like we do. So the real benefit here is that we're ready for the fire. The challenge is going to be what the weather and the winds are doing.
Crews are also removing dry fuels from the area, limiting where flames can actually spread if the fire were to come through here. They're also using bulldozers to create those fire breaks. The chief, though, does have a message for people in the Angel Fire area and the Colfax County area. He says if the village gets put in that go status, he says you do need to evacuate. You refusing to leave your home not only puts your life in danger, but the lives of the first responders as well. Live in Angel Fire, I am Sasha Leninger, KOAT Action 7 News. Back to you.
Now, Angel Fire is in the set stage of evacuations, meaning you should have your things packed and your car ready to go in case you're asked to leave. As of today, the National Interagency Fire Center says 11 major fires burn uncontained across the United States, most of them in the Southwest, burning more than 387,000 acres total. 4,500 firefighters are working them across the country.
The Black Fire in the Gila is now more than 18,000 acres. It broke out yesterday about 24 miles north of Mimbres. Teams there believe it'll grow quickly today with the low humidity and increased wind. Restrictions remain in place. And the Cerro Pelado fire burning near Los Alamos reaching 62% containment.
So we are keeping folks on the line, keeping them busy, making sure that we keep everything interior throughout the day. Our winds will be shifting from southeast to southwest, so the crews will be monitoring that. We do have a lot of dead trees out there that are snags, and those present a hazard of those falling and having embers that can be cast out.
And those embers could cause new fires. It has been about 46 days since that part of New Mexico has seen rain, although it is happening now in Las Vegas.
Tonight, fire crews will hold a virtual and in-person community meeting. For those near Los Alamos, it's at the high school. It will also be shown online. That information is on Facebook. In Colorado, the fire burning in La Plata County near Durango now at 80% containment. The county posted on Facebook this afternoon that the flames were dangerously close to homes within Durango and could have been worse, but no road closures remain in place and pre-evacuation notices have been lifted. With all these fires raging on across the state, we're taking a closer look at fire behavior and how several factors impact how a fire moves.
Our Stella Sun spoke with an expert on fire behavior and tells us what makes it so difficult to predict.
Yeah, I'll be getting to that in just a moment, but right now I do want to show you some of the giant fire tankers you can see right there. Those are called 10 tankers, and they dump thousands of gallons of water as well as fire retardant over all the fires burning across New Mexico. Now, when it comes to predicting fire behavior, experts like to use this triangle to make it easier for us to understand. You got weather, topography, and fuel, and those are all key ingredients that influence how fires behave. The videos we're seeing from the Calf Canyon Hermits Peak fire are both incredible and terrifying. Like a first monster, fire does what it wants.
Predicting fire motion and fire intensity is that much harder.
That's Dr. Jason Knievel with the National Center for Atmospheric Research. He says even the most experienced experts have a tough time anticipating how fires move. But there are three key factors that play into how they behave.
So those factors are the fuel and the topography and the weather.
The fuel feeding the Calf Canyon Hermits Peak fire are a mix of conifer trees, ponderosa pine, brush, and grass, all critically dry. And what the fuel sits on is the topography.
Mountains, valleys, fire tends to move uphill.
The fire is located near the Guyanus Canyon, an area with steep terrain. The hot air produced by the fire dries out the fuels up the slope, making it easier to burn. And the third key factor, weather.
The main factors in weather that are important: wind, temperature, humidity.
As our KOAT weather team has been telling you for weeks, those ingredients create red flag warnings, something meteorologists and fire crews say produce an increased risk of fire danger.
Another way that weather plays a big factor in how wildfires move is that the wind can carry embers, and if the ember is hot enough, you can get a spot fire being ignited. Spot fires are really a threat for fires that move into where people live.
Fire officials say the Hermits Peak fire, which was actually started by the U.S. Forest Service as a prescribed burn, had a lot of those hot embers that created spot fires, and that soon got out of control. Reporting live near the Sunport, I'm Stella Sun, KOAT Action 7 News.
While you can't control the weather or the topography your home sits on, you can reduce the fuels around your house. This can involve removing dead leaves, twigs, or branches and moving wood piles farther away. Well, for communities affected by flames, 2 disaster recovery centers have been provided by FEMA. They are now for New Mexicans who need help with disaster assistance applications. One is in Las Vegas, the other in Ruidoso. They both open at 8 during the week.
Teams from the Santa Fe Fire Department are returning home today. They've been working for 14 days straight to contain the Hermits Peak and Calf Canyon fire. Chief Moya sends his sincerest gratitude to them and the teams that worked in Santa Fe to fill their vacancies.
Evacuations linked to the Hermits Peak Calf Canyon fire have teams at the Sipapu Ski Resort working to protect buildings. They're actually using snowmaking equipment at the resort and spraying buildings and the land. 109,000 thank yous for every dollar.
That is how much you helped us raise on our KOAT Day of Giving. That money raised through the Red Cross will provide shelter, food, and water, and all the needs listed on your screen for those affected by wildfires.